Hi, in this lesson we will be learning how to make custom reports using the pages and screens template. So as you can see, we are in the Google Analytics property and we are in the library. So let's click on create detailed report, and from here we will select the pages and screens. So we are in the report now. So for the first example, I wanted to show you how you can make report for a specific kind of medium and to measure traffic coming to a specific page or a number of pages or in a subfolder or something like that. So for that we will start with the dimensions. So as you can see, there are a lot of dimensions, but for now we will be working with page path and screen class because we want to know the path, and we will remove all of these and we will hit apply. Now for the metrics, we want to know, like, all of these are fine, but we will just remove the total revenue, conversions, event count, and we will also add the total users because why not, and we will hit apply. So these are some metrics that we will be looking. I think we can remove the views per user. Okay, now we have the metrics and dimensions that we want. Now we want to look at what are the traffic that is coming from a particular medium like referral or organic. So for that we will build the filter and we will add session medium exactly matches and referral. If you're seeing this is because I have made some URL parameters and I just added these things. So it is not important that you will also see these two things in your property. And apart from this, we only want to look at the traffic for a certain page or a certain number of page. So we will add a second condition that page path and screen class should exactly match. So here you have the option to select any page you want. So like when you want to select subfolder, you can do something like contains and then add the subfolder. So like I have a subfolder like SU hub, so I will just add this and then it will show the subfolder. But right now I just want to look at some particular pages. So like maybe take home page, contact, and maybe about page. So like maybe I want to know the data for these pages only. So then I will just do this and hit apply. So now we have the filter ready. So these are showing all the traffic that is coming from referral medium and only for these three pages. So like you have some clear data, and now we just remove this bar chart and now you have the data that you want. Again, we can just go and make a summary card out of it and just add our dimension, metric, visualization, and our filter. So this is the report, and we will just, so with this the first example is finished. So let's move on to the second example. So for the second example, we will see the traffic that is coming from certain medium, but you also want to know where exactly the website the traffic is coming from. So for example, when you select the organic medium, it doesn't tell you the exact website that the traffic is coming from. So like you want to know both the organic medium and the websites. So for that we will just modify the dimensions and metrics real quick. So for here you can just look at the number of views or maybe something like number of sessions, and just remove all of the ones that you don't want. And now for the filter, we want two things, that we want the medium to be organic and we also want to know the session. So for setting the medium, we will just do the session medium exactly matches organic. So this is the data for organic, but for here we will add the second dimension, that is session source. So now it will also tell you the places the people are coming from. And now suppose you don't want to look at all of this, so you can just look at a particular page. So like you only want to know data for a specific subfolder, then you can just do it like this. And you want to, if you want to keep this like permanent sort of, then you can make a filter from here to just include this subfolder and nothing else. So we will remove the bar chart, and here is our report. So it will tell you the people that are coming from organic, but the website, like the different websites, so like the Google, DuckDuckGo, and there are like 65 rows. So like we can just toggle this to 100 and it will show you all the rows. So like people are coming from Google, DuckDuckGo, Bing, and Ecosia, Yahoo, and something like that. So this is your second example. For the next example, we will look at how you can measure the data for like different countries and regions and types of devices and things like that. Okay, so for the third example, as I said before, we will look at how you can measure the traffic from a particular country, like using a particular device. You already know it, but we will just do it for the sake of it. So just remove this bar chart, and now we will, instead of keeping the page path as the main dimension, we will make the page title as the main dimension and remove all of these. And similarly for the metric, we will remove all the random ones. So like it can happen that you are targeting people from a specific country, and you want that those people, you want to know the growth, that like how many people came from that country in a particular month. And you are also like targeting mobile devices more than desktop devices, because your content is more like lean towards the mobile side. So that's when you want to like understand this data. So for this we will just select the country, and exactly matches United States or like any other country, or if you want to select more than one countries or something like that. And because you are targeting the mobile devices only, then you can just click device category, exactly matches, and mobile. And when we hit apply, we will get the data that we want. So from this data you can see that this page has the most number of views from people coming from United States that are on mobile. So this is how you can track the growth for your pages from like a particular medium. And if you like want to know the people that are coming from a certain region, then you can also change that. And if you want to like add here like what's the source they are coming from, so you can just do source, and then you will see the source here. We have not we have not made a filter for any source, so like it will show you all the different sources. So this is another example. So as you may guessed it, it's time for an exercise, and as you may also guessed it, the exercises are a little difficult from the reports that we are making. It's just to show you that how advanced you can be when you're making custom reports. So the exercise today is, suppose your SEO campaign is targeting money pages on your website. You are targeting LinkedIn to get the traffic because that's where your target audience is. Your boss wants to know the growth of LinkedIn compared to the growth happening in Google. So like what dimensions, metrics and filters would you apply to make this report? Think about it a little because it's a little tricky, and when you're done we will go ahead and make the reports. So in this example, there are three things that we should be focusing on. The first thing is that you want to focus on the money pages on your website. Second is you want to focus on LinkedIn as a source. And third is you want to compare the growth for LinkedIn and Google. So let's start with the dimension. there isn't like much said for the, like if we want the page path or like page title. So I guess page path is the one that we are going with. And in terms of growth, views, like views are a good metric here, because the metrics are not that much specified. We are just looking for the growth metrics. So like you can also add something like the number of sessions or something like that. So you can just add session, and you will remove all of these because these doesn't make any sense, and you will remove this bar chart. So now we don't have a lot of things going on because we just chose the dimensions and metrics, but we want to make a filter that only targets the money pages. And as I told you before, that the money pages can be in a subfolder. So like for me it's in the SEO hub subfolder. So we will do something like page path and screen class contains, and we will add the subfolder. So for me it's SEO hub, so I will just add this and hit apply. So this will show you all the pages that are in this subfolder. So like there are 4 pages. So now we are looking at something, but it is not completed yet. So for the next thing that we wanted to do, we wanted to compare the growth of LinkedIn versus Google. So now we have to save this report and then make it show up in the library in the main sidebar, and that's when you will apply the comparison. So let me just save this report and I will see you on the other side. So now we are in the sidebar. So like I have added this report in the acquisition. I know it shouldn't be there, but I just added it. And just don't look at the name, it's just a random name. So here we are in this report. So as I've told you before, we will build the comparison. So here you have the comparison. So like just click this. So we want to compare the session source, which is LinkedIn in this case. So like first we will do for Google. So like session source exactly matches Google, and just hit apply. And we will build the next comparison, that is source contains or matches, because for LinkedIn there can be like different URLs. So that's why I'm just saying that it should contain LinkedIn, and we will hit apply. So right now you can see there are 3 things. We don't want to see 3 things. So like you can just see these 3 things, right? We will remove the all users comparison, and now you have what you are looking for. So you are comparing the growth of like LinkedIn to Google, and 28 days is, if 28 days is not the good enough range for you, you can just make it like last 30 days, and you can see the growth for both these things. So this is your growth, and you can see like the growth from Google is a lot, like the views are coming a lot from Google, and the active users are also like the higher from Google, but the LinkedIn is not so much. Like the active users are like very less compared to the number of views. So like you can just tell this report to your like your managers and everything, and you can just say like, okay, we need to work on LinkedIn a little more. So like this is how like you can just make your decisions based on data. And I hope you understand how to make custom reports using this pages and screens template. If you have any questions, I would love to help you.